But don't expect to be treated like people that do write their raps. I'm just saying, don't be walking around here like you that nigga or you that bitch if you don't write raps. Right. Rappers write their raps, period.
You know what really rubs my gears? The way K-pop treats rap like it's just another accessory. Like, throw in some English words, talk fast on a beat, put on baggy pants, boom, you're suddenly a rapper. No, sweetheart, that's not rapping. That's karaoke with extra attitude. Rap is not just about speed. It's about substance, lyricism, and lived experience. And what drives me crazy is that so many K-pop idols get handed the rapper position, but if you actually hand them a pen and say, okay, write your verse, they look at you like you asked them to solve calculus in 5 seconds. Hip-hop was built out of pain, out of resistance, out of Black voices who were ignored everywhere else but found power in rhythm and poetry. And that power wasn't free. People died for this. And not in the metaphorical, oh, they worked so hard they died for their art way. I'm talking real blood spilled, real legends buried too soon. Let's rewind for a second, because if we're going to talk about rap, we need to talk about where it actually came from. Hip-hop wasn't born in a fancy studio in Seoul or in a corporate boardroom deciding which member should be the rapper. It was born in the 1970s in the Bronx, New York. And who created it? Black and Latino communities. People who were pushed to the margins, who were silenced, who had nothing handed to them. These were communities fighting poverty, fighting systemic racism, fighting violence in the streets, fighting a government that looked at them and said, you don't matter. So what did they do? They built their own stage. They made their own voice impossible to ignore. DJs, MCs, breakdancers, graffiti artists, hip-hop wasn't just music. It was survival. It was culture. It was a way to scream back at a world that told them to shut up. Now let's talk about cost. Because hip-hop wasn't built in a safe studio with makeup lights and stylists. It was built in the streets, and the streets have never been kind. Take Tupac Shakur. Tupac wasn't just a rapper. He was a poet, an activist, a voice of resistance. His songs weren't about bragging rights. They were about racism, poverty, and police brutality. He called out America for ignoring the struggles of Black communities. And what happened? He was shot dead at 25. 25. That's an age where most K-pop idols are just finishing their first contract. Tupac didn't just die, he was murdered for being too loud, too real, too unapologetic. Then there's the Notorious B.I.G, Biggie Smalls. His flow was legendary, his storytelling unmatched. He could paint an entire movie scene with a verse, narrating the harsh reality of Brooklyn life, hustling, surviving, dreaming. But he too was murdered at just 24 years old. Both Tupac and Biggie's deaths were tied to the East Coast versus West Coast rap rivalry, a cultural war that showed just how dangerous hip-hop was to live and breathe. Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey wasn't just making music. He was building his community. He bought businesses in his neighborhood, gave jobs to people who had none, and spoke about ownership and self-respect. He represented what hip-hop could become, economic freedom for the oppressed, and he was gunned down at 33, right outside his own clothing store. Pop Smoke, a kid, barely 20 years old. He carried Brooklyn drill rap into the mainstream with raw energy and charisma. He was about to blow up worldwide, but he never got the chance. He was killed in a home invasion. Another voice, stolen before he could even finish telling his story. Takeoff, the quiet soul of Migos. He wasn't the loudest in the group, but his technical flow and cadence were respected by everyone in the rap game. He died at 28, shot outside a bowling alley. Wrong place, wrong time. Another life gone too soon. And these are just the names most people know. If you dig deeper, you'll see a graveyard of Black artists who laid the foundation of hip-hop and paid the ultimate price. Jam Master Jay from Run DMC, murdered. XXXTentacion, murdered. Young Dolph, murdered. Their names might be argued over, but the fact is simple. Hip-hop has always come with risk. Let's get real for a second. Rap wasn't born in some shiny soul training room with mirrors and vocal coaches. Rap was born in the Bronx in the 1970s when Black and Latino communities were abandoned by society. No resources, no opportunities, no safety nets, People were broke, neglected, discriminated against, and living in neighborhoods the government literally forgot about. Out of that pain and poverty came creativity. DJs looping beats, MCs grabbing mics at block parties, kids turning despair into art. Hip hop was never about aesthetics. It was about staying alive, finding your voice when the world silenced you. It was built as a weapon of survival and a tool of rebellion. But even after creating a culture that would change the world, hip hop was disrespected. Mainstream America called it noise. The Grammys, the so-called biggest award show in music, introduced a rap category in 1989, but refused to televise it like rap wasn't worthy of the spotlight. Artists like DJ Jazzy Jeff and The Fresh Prince boycotted in protest because they knew what it meant. Rap wasn't being respected, even as it was shaping global culture. And to this day, the Grammy stage still disrespects rap, rap albums, and the communities that birthed them. In K-pop, half the time being labeled a rapper just means you can't sing high notes, so the company tosses you in the rap line. You didn't study lyricism, you didn't master flow, you didn't live and breathe hip-hop, you just got assigned it like a school project. And the worst part? Fans eat it up. Suddenly, speaking a few broken English phrases at lightning speed makes you a rapper. Like, wow, congrats, you can talk fast. Guess what? Auctioneers can talk fast too, and nobody's calling them the next Tupac. Now hold that picture in your mind. These were men who bled for this art form, who turned pain into power and faced real bullets for speaking their truth. And then look at K-pop companies saying, oh, you speak fast in English? Congratulations, you're a rapper now. Look at idols saying, rap is just a vibe. That's not just shallow, it's disrespectful. It reduces decades of struggle, blood, and cultural history into a cheap accessory. So when fans brag about their rapper idol, breaking records with songs ghost-written by 6 different people, remember this. No matter how many trophies they stack, they will never hold the same weight as a real rapper who risked their life just by telling the truth in their lyrics. So when fans scream, our idol is a genius rapper, grow up. Your idol wouldn't last 1 hour in the conditions where Tupac, Biggie, or Nipsey grew up. They wouldn't survive the streets where rap was forged. They wouldn't dare speak truth to power when it could cost them their life. Yet these black rappers did, and some of them died for it. And here's the gravity of it. A K-pop rapper who can't hold a pen doesn't mean anything, even if they're topping charts. And here's the kicker. The fans who brag about our idol charted higher than Nicki Minaj don't even realize how laughable that sounds. Nicki writes her bars, she carves her legacy with her pen. Your idol can't even sit in a studio without a team of writers feeding them lines. So what's the flex, really? That your fandom can bulk buy albums? That your company hired enough ghostwriters? Sorry, but streams don't equal artistry. Sales don't equal authenticity. Because surpassing someone like Nicki Minaj, who writes her bars, bleeds her truth, and built her empire against a male-dominated genre, means nothing if you never put ink on paper. K-pop rappers at this point are achieving milestones not through talent, but through stream farms, fan wars, and marketing. And the fans eating it up? Grow up. Your idol wouldn't survive an hour in the conditions those Black and Latino artists lived through when they invented hip-hop. These weren't just entertainers. These were men who bled for their words. Every verse came with risk. Every performance could have been their last. Hip-hop was never a vibe. It was survival. It was testimony. It was rebellion in a world that never wanted to hear them. And then, on the other side, you've got K-pop companies handing a 17-year-old idol a rap position because she speaks fast in English, or because he has swag. You've got idols who straight up admit, rap is just cool, it's just a vibe. As if Tupac died for a vibe. As if Biggie bled for some aesthetic. As if Nipsey built entire economic empowerment projects just so your fave could rhyme Gucci with bougie in a song written by 6 ghostwriters. That's the disrespect that rubs my gears. That's the disconnect. Because when you strip rap of its history, its blood, its fight, it becomes cosplay. K-pop idol rap, without authenticity or lyricism, becomes a costume party where the chains and hand gestures look tough but mean nothing. And here's where I want to leave it. Because you know what rubs my gears the most? The way people scream about chart records, awards, streams, brand deals, as if those things prove someone is a rapper. Let me be very clear. Numbers without a pen mean nothing. You can top the Billboard charts, you can sell out stadiums, you can even surpass legends like Nicki Minaj or Megan in streams. But if you didn't write those bars, if you didn't bleed your truth into that mic, then you are not standing on the same stage as her. You're just standing on the shoulders of ghostwriters and marketing teams. And